Brews and Banter Podcast. Banter Podcast. Brews and Banter Podcast. What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Brews and Banter Podcast. I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, is the Legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
I was reading this weekend. Mama. Nah, it doesn't taste like dirt. My name is Lou Belgium, ladies and gentlemen. I'm wondering,
does Delaware have an actual culture? This is the podcast that we talk about beer, but we also talk about a lot of things that's happening in the world, politics, movies, anything really that comes to our mind while we're here sampling these brews. Grab a drink and pull up a chair.
Ooh, we love you, Brews and Banter Podcast.
What up? Welcome to Bruising Banter Podcast, where the topic is the rocket and the brew. What happy to fuel. Welcome to episode 219 of Bruising Banter Podcast. Got a good one for you this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whenever you're listening. To all the viewers who are watching live, hey, what's going on? For all the people who are your first time joining us, welcome. If it's not your first time, still welcome. We love you. We thank you for coming back. Again and again. Before we get too far, I want to take a time out to congratulate some of our beer family and some Delaware-owned, Delaware-based breweries who out in GABF. They won some awards for their beers. So shout out to Autumn March, Midnight Oil. Thompson Island. Who else won some other? I know Attic won some awards as well. Shout out to Attic and two locals for taking home some hardware from the GABF out in Denver. So give them a round of applause. I've had all their beer, so it's I'm sure all the awards were well deserved. So shout out to them. And keep the awards coming.
I agree.
Well said. Like I said, this is episode 219, and so we don't want to delay them bringing our guests, because if you see in the title, it does say Momentum Cider. So we want to bring the founder of Momentum Cider, Monique Gray, to the podcast. So let me bring her in.
Welcome.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome to the podcast.
Yes.
Before we always get into everything, we always like to know what everybody is drinking on. So before we do that, what are we drinking today? And we always start with our guest. Now we know it's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, it is.
But we would not expect anything less if you're a founder of a cider company. So
Right. So you know what I'm drinking. I'm drinking my own cider.
absolutely.
Pulled right out of my fridge just a little bit. So cheers to you guys if y'all drinking something.
Cheers.
It's just my own cider that I made about 2 months ago. I had an event last week and I had some, stash left over. So I just was like, let me pour some for the podcast. I'm sorry.
What kind of cider is it?
So this is our strawberry melon / apple cider.
Okay.
What I do is I get a lot of juice and I just ferment it. So #ferment that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Is that an official hashtag?
Yeah. So that's what I do. I just get a lot of juice, different types of juices, and I experiment. And this was a strawberry melon one that I did for the summer. And I poured it last week at a Black Storm Vodka. She's a Black woman-owned vodka company.
Okay.
Yeah, so I poured for her event.
All right. And what's the ABV on the.
So this one's a 5.6 ABV.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a nice
real
little
simple
morning.
one. Yeah.
Yes, great for morning time. And, it's perfect. So I take one more sip.
Yeah.
The color looks nice too.
Yeah, you like that color?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, nice brunch cider or breakfast cider, brunch cider.
Breakfast cider, yeah.
Breakfast cider. Yep.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Like breakfast cider or brunch cider, or we just made that up?
Well, you probably just made it up, but
we do that. We do things like that on the show.
Yeah, they do have a dessert cider, and that's something that I kind of fancy. I like more of the sweeter ciders. So some of my ciders for preference are more like dessert ciders, sweet ciders, and stuff like that. So this one would be categorized as a dessert cider.
Okay.
It's super sweet.
Does the particular cider that you're drinking have a name, or is it just called the flavors that you just mentioned?
You know what? I was gonna start getting into that. Right now, it's just strawberry melon.
Okay.
Right now, it's just strawberry melon. But I think it would be cool to have some cool, funky names. I was hanging out with the executive director from Cider Institute, and we were drinking on a blue cider, and it was called Ludicrous. And I was like, you know what? That's freaking dope. I say, that's dope. I want to start doing stuff like that. So, yeah. But yeah, this is just strawberry melon.
Nice.
All right.
Last question. I have another question about the cider. What melon are we talking? Is this cantaloupe? Is this honeydew? Water?
It's just a regular strawberry melon, whatever melon they put in this juice. Usually like a watermelon. Yeah, usually like a watermelon. I get my juices from like Trader Joe's. And right now I'm working with this guy who has an orchard up in San Marcos, California. And started getting some juice shipped from there, some high quality juice. But right now I just get my juice locally.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Lou, what you drinking on?
Hola. This is Lewis from Delaware, and I'm drinking on.
I thought he was drinking Hola.
Tecate. I'm drinking on Tecate.
Right.
It's
that's why I said
Tecate.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's out of Baja, California, but it's a ode to Mexico. Born in the borderlands of Baja, California, Mexico, Tecate embodies the unapologetic energy of Mexican Americans in the USA. We are very still proudly brewed by our namesake town of Tecate, using the same high quality recipe since 1944. This is delicious, man. I love Tecate.
Tecate is an LA.
Really? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, for sure.
Absolutely. Baja. So we drink a lot of Tecate down here.
I feel good because you know what? I was looking for a cider because you're a cider lady, and I couldn't find one that I wanted to drink today. So I was like, you know what? I gotta go with Tecate. So I'm glad it still relates to the rest of the show. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Absolutely. But yeah, pass me another and another. If it's a Tecate, it's Tecate over Modelo. It's Tecate definitely over Corona.
Oh yeah,
it's Tecate. Tecate is delicious, man. Try Tecate if you have it. If you like Mexican lagers, I think it's a good one.
I don't know if I ever tried the Tecate. Maybe I have. I don't know if I have. I think
my first time was in the I think I was in Costa Rica. But it was overseas. It wasn't in America. Like I had to go looking for this. So
yeah. I mean, I always see it, but I think I always go with the Desteques, Modelo.
Yeah,
what's the other one?
Dos Equis, Modelo, and Corona?
Dos Equis, Corona.
What's the other Mexican lager?
What's another one? I can't even.
I don't remember, but I know it's not Corona. It's another one that sits over there. That makes sense for you.
It's over there on the shelf.
So the other Mexican lagers hanging out.
Yeah. All right. Yo, what you drinking on?
Yo, I don't know who gave me this. One of y'all did. It probably was Lou, but this Dewey Iberico right here. This cherry blueberry lemonade. It got to be Lou. It had to be Lou.
It's probably me. It's probably me. It's a good chance.
It was me, but yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, I was like, it's a good chance, but I don't remember. I was just gonna keep going until Rob said took the credit.
Yo, I'm surprised though because Lou normally come with the
Yeah.
sweet stuff.
I normally don't give them to you though.
Yeah, that's true. You don't.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
normally tell you how good it was.
I just
Well,
figured
that's why I
since
gave
was
it to you.
sick.
I was like, yo, this sweet shit, this is for y'all.
Yeah, look, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I don't remember ever giving them no sweet shit. No,
Yeah,
I'll give away the IPAs to you. You can taste them all you want.
But yeah, this is the cherry blueberry lemonade, which is 5% in alcohol by volume. It's a fruit smoothie beer.
Yoda, is it the Dream Machine brand, or is it just a fruit smoothie from Dewey?
It's just a fruit smoothie from Dewey.
Okay.
Yeah. But this
Is
would
that
look like in a
categorized
glass.
as a sour, or is that like
Yeah, it would be considered a sour, really. I mean,
okay.
it's in that
Man,
same.
that look like
vein.
purple Kool-Aid.
But yeah, man, it tastes like it. Oh, it's so good.
That look good.
You can taste the lemon. You can taste the lemony flavor and the cherry and the blueberry. It's so delicious. It's like drinking a couple of Kool-Aid, pretty much.
Is it
very diabetical?
Is it hazy or is it clear?
Oh, that thing thick.
Oh, yeah, that's thick. Yeah.
That motherfucker thick.
Yeah, that's
yeah, that thing peanut butter.
Yeah, we like that thing. We like them thick. No, but I'll pass me another of these all day.
That look like I'll pass me another one too.
I got that straight from the cooler at Dewey when we were down there.
Yeah, that looks delicious.
That lemonade, boy. That lemon on top of that them berries. Mm-hmm.
Sound like somebody's grandpa.
They did it right there, boy.
They got some lemonade and they got them burrs.
They're just right there.
Hey, Rob G.
Yeah.
Are you drinking this week, sir?
Yeah, I got from the fellas at Funky Town. I have their gym shoe weather because I guess it is. It's I don't know if it's gym shoe weather, but it's sweater weather.
It's sweater weather.
Officially has officially begun, and this is a Belgian style pale ale. It's 5.2%. I think it's not their first one, but there it is in the glass. I got it turned around, and my reason bearing the glass. There it is. There's the color of it.
That's a beautiful glass.
Yeah, it is.
It's a nice looking beer too.
And it's a good beer. So if you like pale ales, then it's definitely one to check out. They're based out of Chicago. So if you are ever in the area, go holler at them, tell them Brews and Banter sent you.
Yeah. Shout out to their can art, man. Shout out to their can art. God damn.
Black owned. They popping it. They doing it.
Sure. They in Denver right now.
Yeah.
Probably winning another award or something.
Right.
It's every week.
Yeah, this has Save, Citra, and East Kent Golding. So it has a couple hops in there. And it's a good time. It's a nice chill. Art label is by Rail Dot on Instagram, I guess, at Rail Dot on Instagram. That's where you can find the person who made the can art. If you want to see it again, there it is.
Nice. Thank you. I did want to see it again.
Yeah. Because they always kind of represents the Chicago, a lot of the artwork and even some of the phrases. You'd be like, yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like you can't even say it. It don't never sound right unless you're from Chicago.
But they have a couple beers that
one day they're gonna come out with one called "All My Dead Folk" because they're always saying that.
Oh my dear. Okay, because I'm gonna be going to Chicago really soon, so you guys gotta hook me up without some lingo so I can look cool.
I don't got the lingo. We'll introduce you to Funky Town, but we don't have no lingo for you. No, sir.
Funky Town might have it for you. They may be able to help you.
You may need a dictionary when you're talking to them, though.
I get my shit off the internet, so it could possibly be wrong.
It's probably wrong. It's probably wrong. Get a Chicago lingo from a nigga from Nebraska.
Oh my god. No.
I'm definitely gonna pass me another. I think I already drank the other one, so yeah, I've already passed myself another. not today though. Not today.
Sure.
Well, it's the first thing I drank today, besides water. Besides water.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, everybody's drinking on something. So without further ado, we want to give the floor to Monique to tell us all about
Before we do, hold on. Monique said something about it being sweater weather, and she's from California, and I always assume California to be warm at this time of year. So what do you mean, Monique, that it's sweater weather in Long Beach area?
It's sweater weather. It's our seasons. We still have seasons. I mean, we do have some seasons now, so it's starting to cool down.
What's the temperature? How
Right
cold is it for a sweater?
75.
Yeah.
And is that as cold as it gets though?
That's not as cold as it gets. It gets really cold here. It gets really cold. I mean, cold to us is like 60s, 61.
Hold on. You just said it's going to be 65 degrees like today, and it gets cold. It gets colder.
It's
down
gonna
to
be
the
like
60s.
it's gonna be okay. So it's gonna be maybe like 70 degrees today. That's sweater weather for us.
No, sir.
Oh my god!
Yeah. When it gets breezy,
Right.
we don't.
Thank you for clarifying. So when the wind blows, that's when it's time to put your sweater on.
Yeah, pretty much.
God,
Yeah.
all right.
We just call that a nice day.
It's like a breeze.
If it's breezy in October,
it's 70 degrees. We like, oh, that's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, somebody has shorts on. You definitely gonna see like half the people.
Well, yeah, you're gonna see some shorts on. You're always gonna see some shorts on at the beach. You're gonna see people with their flip flops and their shorts on. That's just a given. I mean,
right. But you look at them like, oh, they are so cold.
I'm like, okay, yeah, you tripping. I'm not about to do that. Let me put my sweater on because I'm gonna get cold at about 2 p.m. Honey.
That's funny. You know what time too. Like I'm gonna bring it early because I know around 2.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I digress. Rob, continue on with what you were saying. I had to get that in there. And it had nothing to do with what we're about to talk about. So,
all right. So without further ado,
Further
aloo. Sorry.
Good rhymes. That's good rhymes right there. Way to be on your toes right now.
We want to give the floor to Monique Gray, who is the founder of Momentum Cider, as well as the recent inaugural winner of the Creator Launchpad Grant from Women of Beerlution and Beer Culture. So without further ado, Monique, the floor is yours to tell us all about who you are.
Hey, everybody. So, my name is Monique, founder of Momentum Cider. We have been around for about 2 to 3 years. I started making cider out of my kitchen. Right now I'm in Long Beach, California. And so I started making cider out of my kitchen. I found this like cider kit, cider/wine kit, and started just experimenting with stuff. I've always liked cider. It's, it works with my palate. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start, experimenting with some stuff. So that's what I did. Started experimenting, and I took a bottle to one of my producer friends at the studio, and he was like, you know what, I think you might got some here. You might have a little some here. So after that, I just started doing a lot of research on cider and everything about cider. And then I started getting connected with, trying to find, groups that I can relate to. And I found Pink Boots LA, Pink Boots chapter. If you guys have ever heard of them, it's a really good, pretty much a nationwide organization that aspires and educates women in the brewing industry. And I found the Pink Boots LA chapter and joined them. And that's where I was able to really get into, finding people in the brewing industry, people in the cider industry. So I'm so grateful for Pink Boots. And then after that, just started mastering my craft. You know what I'm saying? Just mastering it, trying different yeasts and different things, different explosions and all kinds of stuff along the way. And I pretty much have a solid, product. We will be going commercial pretty soon. So I'm excited about that. I got word that. Yes. I got word that we're going to be getting some local distribution out of Chicago. So that's really, really cool. And yeah, so that's where we're at now. Let me see, did I miss something? Oh, in between that, I did some judging for Portland's cider cup, Portland Cider Cup, and then I got won another scholarship from Yonder Cider to go to CiderCon. So I went to CiderCon this year, which was super dope because I didn't know that they had a CiderCon. So I was in my element with all the cider geeks, and it was super dope. It was
Nice.
definitely a wonderful experience, and hopefully next year I'll be pouring my cider at CiderCon.
Now you said explosion. Did you mean like flavor
Yes.
explosion or
Yes.
actual explosion?
I mean, like actual explosions when you're dealing with yeasts and different types of, yeast and fermentations and things like that. You're bound to get some explosions, some mishaps, some little things happening because, you miscalculated your yeast or your sugar intake, something like that. Too hot of too warm or too cold. The difference between cider and beer, we don't really do a lot of mashing or anything. There's not that much heat. As far as like boiling, we don't boil anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just like mix it and post it up and maybe just, add heat to while it's posting. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a boil type of thing.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way. I was making ginger beer one time.
Mm-hmm.
And like I let that thing sit too long. I guess I don't know what happened because I made ginger beer before and it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But this one time, I don't know what I did. My measurements was off or something, but that
Yeah.
thing blew up. It was all over the place.
Yeah. I actually now I don't even pretty much store beer or cider, really. My cider. I don't store my cider in my house anymore just because of that. Well, obviously I have a 10-year-old too. So I kind of just put everything in my storage container in my garage. I have a cooler in there. Just because of the explosion. And I've gone into the garage and seen some, like, it's been sticky, like, what happened?
Yeah.
So I'm in the process of looking for like a storage kitchen. So yeah.
Nice.
Soon to come for that. The storage kitchen.
Wait, so storage so you're gonna make so you would make it there at the kitchen and store it at the kitchen.
Yeah, I can make it there at the kitchen and store it there. It's starting, everything's starting to pick up. It's starting to, the momentum.
There's momentum, yeah.
Yeah, the momentum is picking up. So I can't store stuff in my refrigerator or in my cooler in the garage. So I'm looking for more storage. And then eventually investing in some kegs and stuff like that to store my cider in.
Okay. So where did the name Momentum Cider come from?
You know what? I started out as another name. I started out as Mo Better Brews. And
I actually like that.
Yeah, I started out as that, Mo Better Brews, and my son was like, you know what? I like that. And I was like, you know what? I like that too. But there's another company out like that. So, I wanted to be original. And then I went through, and then when I went to CiderCon, I just learned so much. Like, they don't play around. Like, cider is not brewed in any way. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it would defeat the purpose for me to be out there trying to, create a legacy and not being true to the game. So I just was like, I did a whole rebrand. Like, we're going to do what else represents who I am and what I am. And I feel like Momentum made so much sense to me. So, I mean, it's only up, right? It's only up.
Right. Yeah, seems like it.
Keep going. You just keep going. So that's pretty much where Momentum comes from. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I like it.
Now, I'm always curious to know, and just talking to someone from cider, like, are there different variations of cider? Like, I know that obviously there's like regular cider you get from like the apple orchard, but in terms of, I guess, hard ciders, like we have, like, beer has sours and stouts. Like, are there a lot of different variations in cider?
There's not that many variations. I mean, we have stuff like, still ciders, which is pretty much like a flat cider. More of a wine type of consistency, and then you have your sparkling ciders, you have your dessert ciders, your dry ciders. I mean, not really that much of a difference, but you do have like different varietals. Uses a single varietal, which means that it's just like made from one type of apple, things like that. And then you have like mixed fermentation. Usually most people nowadays mix apples blends. They blend their apples to come up with a specific type of taste. you know, and then you have your single varietals, which is just like, you know, this is just from a Gravenstein apple, or this is just from a red fleshed apple. You know, those are like your single varietals. So there's different types of ciders, but they're pretty much not like, you know, sours or stouts or anything. But if that makes any type of sense.
Yeah. Now, do you have a favorite apple?
What's your favorite? Yeah, what's your favorite apple?
So I like I said, I like more of the sweeter apples. I like some of the Newton Pippin apples. I do like
that sounds like a basketball combination.
Newton Pippin, yeah.
Newton and Pippin for 3.
Yeah. I do like the Gravenstein apples. I do like those, and I like some of the red flesh apples. Whatever is more sweeter, because you know, once you have a juice, and then once it goes through the fermentation process, afterwards it tastes totally different than, you know, before you had it. So you always have to do a little bit of back sweetening. So I usually always start with a sweeter type of apple.
You just named 3 different apples that I've never heard of before. How many different varieties of apples are there?
You know, there are so many different types of apples. I was at the Long Beach Farmers Market, and I met a guy who has an apple farm, which is a little different from an apple orchard, but he has an apple farm, and he had about 27 different varietals of apples. And if you go on my Instagram page, you'll see he gave me about 8 different apples to just try out. And there's different types. And that was one of the first times that I was introduced to a red flesh apple, because I didn't know that apples came in different types of flesh. So, but yeah, there's different types of apples. There's crossbreeding of apples, stuff like that. So yeah, it gets really, really cool.
They're out here crossbreeding apples.
Crossbreeding apples. I mean, scientists, we get, you know, weirded out, and we start messing with stuff. That's what we do.
Man.
This works with this and that, but you know, the outcome is a perfect tasting cider, or, you know, really good apple. So yeah.
Wait, when you said the red flesh apple, that means that the inside of it is red.
The inside of the apple is red, so you know
what that tastes like.
It tastes like an apple. Red flesh.
So what's the point?
Yeah, the red flesh is usually sweeter. But it still tastes like an apple. It's just, you know, cool to look at.
Okay, so it still tastes like an apple. Have you ever had an apple that's like, this tastes like a plum, or this tastes like a watermelon? Have you ever had an apple that doesn't taste like a...
Yes, like you do have apples that don't have pretty much any flavor. But after it's like they use them for tannins and stuff like that. You use them for different types of things. Like, you know, some apples are more like drier. You want a good, like a Granny Smith apple if you want a dry cider. You know what I'm saying? Most people like dry ciders, you know, just with no sugar. What I'm noticing now from the consumer outbase, that people like a more drier ciders with no sugar. So I have been getting into that, where I'm making ciders that have pretty much no sugar, which takes a longer process, and specific types of apples that once you go through fermentation. So yeah.
Wow. Tasteless apple. Ugh.
A tasteless apple. And another thing with, like, have you guys ever had like jicama?
Yeah.
No, I'd never had that. I don't even know what that
jicama is usually what they like. If you go to like a Mexican food truck and you get some street tacos, and they give you the tacos with the lemon and these little red things. They kind of look like an apple, but they're not an apple. But that's kind of like a tasteless apple. To me, a jicama is like a tasteless apple. It has the same consistency. It's crunchy. It has the same type of consistency, but it doesn't taste like anything.
Almost like a radish, like type of thing, right?
Like a radish.
Like a radish.
Exactly.
At least the radish got a little bit of heat on the back end.
Yeah, sometimes the radish. Yeah. Mm-hmm,
imagine being crossbred to grow up to be a tasteless apple.
To be nothing.
I'm used for the tan. I'm a tannin apple. Like,
everything has a purpose. You may not taste good, but we're using you for something else.
He's definitely getting teased by the other apples. I know that. That apple gets bullied.
Going to the back of the
bus.
Sure. Now you mentioned that there's a difference between an orchard and a farm. What's the difference?
I already said the same thing.
Well, I would think that orchards are more just, primarily apples. You know what I'm saying? And apple farms are maybe a little different. I don't know. Quote me if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I be people they say, no, this is not an apple farm. This is an orchard. You know, but people in Washington are saying this. No, this is an orchard. You know, with no building. And you know, my friend down here is, oh, yeah, I got an apple farm, 7 different apples. And so I, you know what? I don't know. Maybe farms are more for like reproducing. You know what I mean? Like he makes the fruit to farmers market it out. And orchard is more like, I don't know.
Do you?
I hope I didn't answer your question because I really don't know. I don't know. You know,
I got you. We gotta get an orchard guy on here. Orchard.
We gotta get a. I was thinking like a apple farm. He got like cows and pigs and stuff as well, and it's not just apples.
Oh, and that's you know what, you're right, because he does have different things other than apples. You're absolutely right. He does have things other than apples. He has apples and plums and pears and things like that. So that's probably the difference. Whereas to where an orchard is just apples.
Does cider have to be just apple based? Can it be a different fruit base?
Cider's usually 99% always apple based.
What about that one though? What about that 1%?
We got a plum cider. Don't we have a plum cider?
Like we make different types of like I was saying, you can have your single varietals and then you have, your mixed blends. So when I'm in the kitchen experimenting, sometimes like I can't make a pineapple. For me, my pineapple cider doesn't come out good when I'm starting with just straight pineapple juice. But there's some good pineapple ciders out there. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't mix everything. True. You know what I'm saying? So it always has to have that apple base, and then you can sweeten it with something else. Like I have a cranberry cider, but it always starts apple.
Okay.
And then I sweeten it with either fresh cranberry juice or cranberry puree to come up with that specific flavor.
Yeah. So if it doesn't have an apple involved in the process, is it considered cider? Like that 1%?
I wouldn't label it as a cider. I mean, how would it be categorized as a cider then if it doesn't have any apples?
Yeah, that's what I was asking you because you decided like because that 1%, when people using strictly pineapple or strictly cranberry juice, that's not, in your opinion, considered a cider. It's just in like the cider family, maybe.
They are using apples, and then they're using maybe a pineapple as a flavor.
Oh, but apple's always the base.
Apples are always going to be the base.
Gotcha.
Apples are always the base in cider.
So
that's interesting.
I wonder if you make like plum liquor or pineapple liquor. Like what's that called?
They do have plum liquors. Plum liquors are called
I didn't know nothing.
Jerkum. Jerkum. So jerkum.
I never ordered one of those. So.
No, I don't.
No, but so in Eastern Europe they have different types of ciders and different types of liquors and stuff. And with research, they do have something called a jerkum, which is a plum liquor or like it's a heady liquor. For me, it's pretty heady. I always mix it with a cider, but they back in the barbarian days and stuff like that.
I feel like we had somebody on here talking about pears using pears as a cider.
And so they have a perry, they have perries. So perries are different. Yeah, so perries are different. So and I just completed the cider and perry production program for the Cider Institute, which is really cool. I learned how to make cider in a commercial level and pears on a commercial level. And so perry is just that. It's just pears. It's different from cider. So you learn how to make perry from pears and cider from apples.
They're like cousins though, obviously.
Yeah,
both at the same
sure.
time.
Yeah, right.
So we have perries, we have ciders, we have jerkums, we have meads, different things like that. Pomots. A pomot is an apple wine. I kind of stay away from the pomots because the pomots are like a brandy. You gonna get toe up with it.
Mm.
Yeah, I went to
Apple wine
CiderCon.
sounds delicious.
I went to
Yeah.
CiderCon and
But
I
see,
was
that
like,
makes it.
you know. But I have a friend who owns he owns a cider and meadery up in Julian, California, close to San Diego. He makes a really good jerkum and a really good pommeau. So yeah.
Mm.
Once I get a little bit, I'm gonna try my hand at a good pommeau. We'll see how it comes out, and I have to give you guys some.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I'll take it.
Too.
Apple wine.
I'll take the cider. I'll take the cider that you've mastered. Like, give me some of what you got right now. You don't have to perfect something new.
Cranberry cider. So my cranberry cider is on point.
Yeah.
I feel like
We'll be the judge of that.
I feel like I've mastered it. I feel like I've mastered
Nice.
it.
That's good.
What ciders do you have on in your stock that you're consistently making for your fest or for the public?
I consistently just make I make a cranberry and apple. Sometimes I'll do like depending on the season, I'll do like a pomegranate. I really like my pomegranate ciders. They come out really rich and they work just really well with the yeast that I use. Sometimes I like for the summer, I had a little bit of this strawberry melon cider, and but consistently I make a cranberry and apple.
Okay.
Wait, so do you have to? This might be a dumb question, but because you said cranberry and apple cider, but it's already because it's a cider already got apple with it.
So we always
do you have to say that?
So I always say So I always just say cranberry cider.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Also, for these laymen over here, you let us know.
You did that for us.
For the dummies.
Yeah, so
for the dummies.
it's always whatever flavor it is, it's whatever's the dominant flavor you taste it, this tastes like cranberry because it's a cider. Like I said before, all the bases are usually always apple juice. Right. And then you go in and you want to try something different. You add, pomegranate, you add melons.
Strawberry melon.
It's like with a beer. So I've seen people put cereal in their beers, peanut butter, all kinds of different things. So it's just the same type of thing. Whatever flavor you want to add in there.
Okay.
So what's the average, I guess, ABV of the cider that you create? Like, do you have a range, or do you just try to stick to a certain ABV?
So legally, a cider can't really be over. I'm pretty sure 7%, something like that. But my ciders don't really go over that. They stay between a 5 and a 6% ABV. I have had the longer they ferment, obviously the stronger they can get, and then that's when it turns into more like an apple wine or a pommeau or something like that. So those are the different types of like varieties. It'll be a cider, and then it can turn into like a pommeau or something like that. And a pommeau is more like, just like I said, like a wine that's been fermented. It's not bubbly or anything. It's just has like a smooth brandy, like a brandy taste. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That sounds strong.
Right.
It's strong.
Yeah,
I'm just taking shots of it, and you're cool. That's what I'm saying. You're taking shots of it.
Wow.
Yeah. You take shots of the apple wine, you'll be
pommeau.
Yeah, I gotta try that.
Yeah, no.
Pour me some mo.
Pour me some mo of that pommeau. Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
I wonder if I can find some at the locally, like at a.
Yeah, because this.
You know what? You guys might be able to. If you're in Chicago or somewhere near Chicago, I know Eden Ciders has.
We're in Delaware.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure in Delaware there's some ciders out, some cider. You can buy some cider out there, but if you want to try a pommeau, I would say Google it. I can't even think of my head off my head right now.
Yeah.
But pommeaus are really good. I know for sure in Chicago.
That sounds like a good time to have a pommeau. Like the weather's getting cold and
it's gonna warm you up. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
2 good shots, you will be straight off of that pommeau.
Pommeau at my house, y'all. Next time we get together.
Yeah. Now I'm always curious to know. Like, we ask a lot of people who start brewery brands and things like that nature. Like, do they have a aspirations to have a brick and mortar? So I'm gonna ask you, as a cider maker, do you have like aspiration to have an orchard? Like, is that part of the?
No, I've been thinking about that. Like, it would make sense for me to have something like that because, like, right now I'm outsourcing, and then, but maybe in the future, you think about buying some land and get an orchard like that, like live on a farm or something like that. But my goal is to have a brick and mortar spot. Right now, I'm just making cider out of my kitchen. My absolute end goal would to be to have the first Black woman owned cidery in California. So that's my goal.
Nice.
I mean, I pretty much am legally there. But
I was about to say,
yeah, I'm legally there, but to have an actual brick and mortar would, make it icing on the cake. But legally, I am the first Black woman on cidery in California.
Okay.
California big as shit, too. Yeah, California got a lot of Black people in it.
Right.
I gave her both. I gave her clap and horns.
That is definitely earned, Courtney. That was earned.
Yeah, so that's a big goal. And it seems like it may be happening sooner than later.
Awesome.
But buying property in California is just so soon come.
So Momentum is not just the name of the brand; it's actually it's the way the business is going. Got the momentum.
That's right.
That's a perfect name for sure.
That's right.
That's what's up. Because you mentioned you should be soon going. Do you have a date in terms of like being able to commercially produce? Do you have it?
Right. So a part of my grant, I got an opportunity to get a collaboration with Pilot Project Brewing over in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do a beer there, and then because they're not licensed to do cider, I'm gonna have a cider produced commercially locally in California. So part of the grant is to get a beer commercially produced, and then come to California, and then in California get a cider commercially produced.
Well,
so
it's like full circle because the Funky Town, they brew out of Pilot as well. So it's like, how about that?
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. We should go into production, I think late October. So I'm flying out to Chicago to do that, and then I got some word to do a collaboration with Hermosa Brewing over here in Torrance, California. We're going to do a cider here. So I'm pretty excited about it. So I got some collabs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got some collabs in the works. So yeah, Momentum Cider is we getting up there. I'm excited. I'm excited about the future.
You should be.
Nixt year, I'm just, I'm really excited. I didn't get to do Barrel and Flow this year. But next year I'm going to hit all that stuff up.
Nice. Now you mentioned already quickly the that you won the grant, the inaugural Creator Launchpad grant from Woman Revolution and Beer Culture. What went into what even be nominated or accepting the grant?
I'm sorry, you broke up.
You was choppy.
Oh, I was.
Yeah.
I was saying based on the you winning the grant. What went into getting the grant and being the inaugural winner of the grant?
What went into it, you have to apply for it, and there was a process. There was a whole process, and I think you have to be a woman that somebody that identifies as BIPOC, and it was a woman, and I didn't think I was going to get it because it was Women of the Bevolution and beer culture, but it said any type of fermentation product, so I was like, yes, cider, and so I just applied for it. Like, I don't know, because cider, because beer is so, craft beer is competitive. Everybody's, wants to have a craft beer or brewery or something like that. So with me and cider, it's different. There aren't really any, cider. There's a cidery here in California, but, a cider culture in California and in general. So I was like, let me just do it. So I went on ahead and applied for it. and I got it. So
Congratulations.
So I get they give you $15,000 to get stuff going, and then they give you $2,000 in travel expenses so I can fly out to produce my cider, and then you get some financial consultation and PR marketing and stuff like that. So it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, I wonder what goes into that though. Like, how do they determine who to pick though? Like, because it's not like they asking you for product and like taste your product and say, "Oh yeah, we believe in this," or just story.
I don't know, but it's it's a dream. I think they I don't know why they picked me, but I'm glad they did. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah.
I have a dream, and I got a mission, and my mission won't be stopped.
Okay.
Monique, where are you from, Monique? Are you from Long Beach?
I actually was born and raised in Inglewood, California.
Okay.
No good.
Yeah.
Not too far.
Got you.
LA native.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, I mean, maybe do you have to like tell a story? You have to like write an essay or something?
So
He's really interesting.
I had to write an essay. I had to write an essay. I had to do a video of why I feel like I needed to be chosen, and that's what I did. I wrote an essay. I wrote recorded myself a video essay of why I felt like I should be chosen, and the process took pretty long. It was a very long process, probably about 9 months, while they sat through and different levels and stuff. First level, and then you got the second level. And the second level, you have to meet with different types of different board members. It was cool. It was crazy. So
so it sounded like you got picked based off of your story. Probably
my story, my story, and maybe my experience. I came in this game, as soon as I hit the ground, feet running. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty much a nurse, so there's some education aspects to it. I know people who own cideries who are not certified cider professionals. It's like I just make cider. You know what I'm saying? And they're successful, but it's not like an educational component to it. So for me, I felt like, if I'm going to come in here and be, the master of this this industry, or not the master, but, put my foot down in it, then I have to start, I have to gain some merit. I have to gain some credibility, and so that's what I did. I went to Cider Institute. I got invited to judge. So just certain things.
Yeah, so you can't go back and be the master. You have to.
You got to live in it. You got to stand in it.
Because there's not anybody, in California that's doing that. You know what I mean? Right. There's only 3 black women own. There's only 3 black women own cideries in the United States, and technically, I'm the 3rd. You know what I mean? So.
I guess Hannah would be one, right?
Yeah, what's the third? Who's the third?
Hannah's one. I'm the second, and there's another one. I think they're out of Michigan. I can't think of the name of this, but they're out of Michigan. They have a mill and everything. I forgot the names of them, but they're in there. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing my research.
Yeah,
nice. Now I know. Like when you were telling your story earlier, you were saying that you made this, you already were drinking ciders, decided to make the ciders, and then you took it to one of your homeboys in the studio.
A producer. It was a producer.
Why are you in the studio with producers? And why?
Nurse lady.
and why your producer friend? What made you take it?
Well,
to him, yeah.
I'm from LA, so there's other components of me. I'm not just a cider maker like y'all.
You don't just see the cider. Don't let the cider fool you. Don't let the cider fool you.
So I mean, I'm a rapper and stuff like that. So I just went to the studio with my cider, and he was like, "This is it." So that's what I do. I do music on the side.
I knew it was something under there because people just don't say my producer friend. People that don't do music don't have producer friends.
Yo, and when she said
But
it,
you know what?
I
But
thought
you know what?
California. I thought
In California,
TV.
you do because everybody
Yeah.
trying to be so in California, everybody got a producer friend or everybody in the studio.
But everybody don't call them their producer friend. They be like, yeah, that's rah-rah over there.
That's true.
They don't even say where they was at. They was like, I just sent my friend some
I gave it to
cider and he
rah-rah.
liked it. He's like, I was in the studio, I was laying down some tracks.
I was laying down some tracks. I brought that's what it is. Yep.
So we're going to pivot now since you brought it up.
Drop the bars.
Yeah, what is your rap name, Monique?
So we're rapping. So my rap name is Mora Q.
Okay.
And
Q.
Mora Q, and Mora Q basically represents because I'm from the 90s era, so it comes from like, the 5% Nation, the Gods and Earths and all that, about Wu-Tang Clan and all that. So it stands for like, the Moors and Mora. And back in the day, they used to call their women Moras and like blackberries and stuff. So I just love that name. So that was the attribute I acquired. And Q stands for Queen Universe Equality. So I'm really hip hop under all this. I'm really hip hop. I'm really hip hop.
Yo, isn't it crazy that both of the cider owner ladies that we know have acronyms for dope and for queen?
Yes,
that's cool.
Yes, yep.
Yeah,
so I've done some stuff. What have I done this year? I opened up for Jizza. I'm sorry, I opened up for RZA. I've opened up for KRS One.
Okay.
I opened
Yeah,
I opened up for a couple. Yeah, I opened up for some people.
See how I picked that up? You see how I did that?
Oh no, we was on that.
I heard it, but I wasn't going.
I'm so glad you brought it back because this is good. More Q. You on these iTunes? You on these Spotify?
I got some music on iTunes. I'm sorry, iTunes, Spotify, all of that stuff. And then you could check my Instagram, the More Q Instagram, that's my personal Instagram. I was in a movie too, so I just acting. You guys need to check out my movie. I actually did the soundtrack I was in the soundtrack, so I'm on the soundtrack, and then I do the opening song for the movie. It's called Bang Bang Betty. So I act in it, and then I'm on the soundtrack. So I'll be doing a little something. Yeah,
you do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so I'll be doing stuff. Yeah, I'll be doing stuff.
Then you be like, by the way, y'all, I got cider.
Exactly. I push that bottle I'm trying to do it all, trying to create a legacy for myself.
Right.
I am creating a legacy for myself, not trying. I am.
There you go.
Absolutely, you are. Yes.
That's nice. I like it. I really like it.
So
that mean that brick and mortar about to be hip hop out.
Oh man!
You already know I have my rap, so we gonna let me get on stage. I'm friends. You want to do murals on my wall, so I have a support group. There's a subculture of hip hop that I come from. That hip hop saved my life. That's just who I am. So obviously, when I have my brick and mortar, there's going to be people that I'm going to come in, bring in to perform or whatever,
Or you just, come from behind the bar and just hop on the mic once.
Just jump out.
Every night. Every night y'all open.
That's how you start the night.
Little do we know that Monique really is doing this cider thing so she could front her music career. Or she will be headlining at the cider.
Whichever pop first.
That's what my cider is my backup. My backup plan. My rap.
Yeah, so I think I was reading that did you start making a cider during the pandemic?
So I started making cider in the pandemic. Yeah, I everybody's getting creative and doing things, and I stumbled upon a wine yeast making kit or something like that, and I was like, I wonder if I can make cider. How can I make it like bubbly? And just messing around with the different yeasts and stuff. And that's when I came up. I was like, this is bubbly. It's like, but and then after a while, the bubbles fade. So that was something that I had to work on. Like, it'll taste like a flat soda. So I have to work on like, different types of yeast, champagne yeasts, cider yeasts, stuff like that to try to see which one fits. But yeah, I started off just making cider in the pandemic.
See, that pandemic helped a lot of people.
A lot of people.
It really did. I think it was needed for a lot of people because I also come from a massage therapy background. So I was a massage therapist for 25 years, teaching massages at at colleges and everything. And so it was just weird because when the pandemic hit, it was almost time for me. Like I felt like it was spiritually like something's got to change. I'm doing massage, God. What is something else that I want to be totally obsessed with? You know what I'm saying? And so I believe that cider is it.
Yeah. That's what's up.
You was in there massaging and spitting bars, like,
right in their ear, right there on their shoulders, right in their ear.
Right. Thinking of bars. It's funny because in one of my rhymes, I said something about a bicuspid valve. And my partner, he always laughs at me about that. It's like, I run through your bicuspid valve. You think you got the gist, but you don't even know the half. He goes, what the heck is a bicuspid? It's like, I use some of my anatomy, put it in my rhymes.
Yes. Intelligent rap. Go get a dictionary when you listen to my bars. I love it.
I'm always curious to know, was there a cider, it doesn't have to be, was there a cider that like inspired you? Like, oh, when you were drinking this brand, you were like, yo, I want to do this.
Make this. Yeah.
You know what? When I went to San Diego, it wasn't a cider. It was a lambic beer. They're called Framboise.
Yes.
And I went to a brewery in San Diego many years ago, 2016, 15 or something like that. And I had this Framboise and I was like, oh my God, this is it. So when I started making ciders, I was always trying to get this, like, I want this taste. I want this velvety, fruity, and still got bubbles at the end, finish. And I just love the lambic styles of beer. And so I always, like, when I first had a lambic Framboise, I was like, this, I can do this. This is that's kind of what changed it. So, and then when I was like, and then I got a scholarship to White Labs, White Labs yeast to do, to study sour beers and the microfermentation for sour beers. And so that's when I started getting into all the, like, that type of stuff, Brettanomyces and Saccharomyces and lambics and all these different types of.
She is a nerd. God damn.
I am a nerd. And then when I got into that, I was like, yeah, this is something like sour beers. I don't know. I don't want to do all this. I'm going to stick to cider. That's when I realized that, okay, this is not what I want. I want to do cider. I don't want to do beer and, fermentations and microbiomes and all these different types of things, which cider, once you get into as far as preservatives, you're going to have to do that. But that's when I decided, like, beer, cider. So
When, even going further back, when was it that you made the decision, like, cider is my drink of choice? Like, people drink alcohol, people drink beer, or people choose cider, but it's rare that people choose not just cider, but choose cider as their drink of choice. So when was it that changed?
So after I tried the Framboise, I hadn't even really thought about it. And then I started, like, I wanted this taste again. I had the Framboise, and then that was like 2016, 17, then 2020. I don't know. I always have liked a cider more over a beer taste because I felt like a cider was just like a soda that gets you buzzed, and I like sweet stuff, and so
Negro palates.
Soda that gets you buzzed. So I just like cider, and I didn't know that, it was big as it is. It's an actual thing. So, the nerd in me is like, I'm going to do some research. I want to know if my people make cider in Africa and all this type of stuff. I got into the roots of cider. And I was like, yeah, this is it. I like this. So and there's still a lot to learn, but I'm here for it.
Did we invent cider?
We did not invent cider, but but Africa is the second largest cider producer out of Europe.
That's currently?
Currently.
Wow. Awesome.
I'm curious to know in terms of your logo, like how did the logo come up with who designed? Did you design the logo? Like what's the logo represent?
So that logo, because I wanted something that was, I'm so analytical and geeky, and you get caught up in this perfectionism type of thing, and sometimes you just have to, never get too attached to a project. And my original logo was a rocket ship with like spitting out apples as the combust in the air. And I couldn't find anybody to really like do what I wanted it to do. So I just decided something that was just, that. And that's what I landed on, because if you mess with me, it'll be changed every 3 months. So I'm just gonna leave it where it is. So that's what the logo is. It's just that. And I hope I don't want to change it again. But it's gonna stay.
That's all like by the time we go to commercial. It's
definitely gonna be changed.
That's what it sounds like. That's on its way.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, because it makes sense with the momentum, the rocket ship. I get it. I get the idea.
Yeah, but then like the lady who was designing my website, she was like, she works in the beer industry. I had showed her to it, and she was like,
no, okay.
This has nothing to do with cider ink. So I was like, you know what? I just want a super cool cider cup, something that's going to represent just cider, and not beer, and, you're going to see the momentum going. So the momentum is here. We in the momentum right now. You have to feel it, the energy. So.
Gotcha. I've learned as I've been speaking, talking to you. Well, because we noticed that you've won all these scholarships. So, and the fact that you are an MC means that you really can tell your story. Like it really comes off. Like you really understand how to
it's
tell
funny
a story.
That you said that, because when I won the grant, she said, one of the founders of the beer culture says, were you ever a salesman or something like that? And I was like, I've never. So she said, you you're like, you got a mouthpiece. I never really think about it like that, but I guess, so yeah. A gift of gab.
That was such a humble answer. That was great.
Right, very humble.
I have a question. When did you change the name to Momentum?
The name changed earlier this year.
Yeah, I'm on your page right now in February. Mo Bread and Brews is live.
After CiderCon.
Gotcha.
After CiderCon, it was like nah. No, and they didn't even say it like that. I was like, you know what, I gotta come correct,
But it makes perfect sense. Mo Better Brews is a great name, but it's not what you're doing. And like you said, this Momentum and cider is where you're at and where you're on. I like it.
So
yeah, it was a good change. CiderCon was a great good thing for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't wait to go back to CiderCon next year. It's Portland. So that's gonna be exciting.
We need to get to CiderCon. I like Portland.
Portland is like cider capital right now.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. So I'm definitely gonna take a day to just do some cider hopping. I mean, there's so many cideries in Portland. It's crazy. So I'm definitely gonna go out there and
go out there and cider hop.
Yep, cider hop, exactly.
Take a stage or two,
Well, I might have to.
I feel like that's also you're in. Like you could go to a different cidery or a meadery and just be talking to them and like may not be feeling what you're saying. And like, yo, I'm also house entertainment. And by the end of it, the contract is signed.
All right. I mean, yeah.
Use whatever you got. You gotta use everything you got.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but
the rap is thing. Yeah, you're always in-house entertainment. Like for your own cidery for other when people have your stuff on tap.
Like, okay,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
This song was inspired by the cider that you're drinking right now, guys. Hit it.
You know what? That's actually the next thing I'm gonna do. A cider song. You know, Ice Cube came out with when back in the day with the St. Ides era, and they would do these dope freaking St. Ides hip hop commercials about beer, and Wu-Tang had one, and it just like blew my mind, and it was so dope, and it was like a Wu-Tang song, but it was about beer. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something like that. I'm gonna have some of my rapper friends. It's like a few of us. We're gonna get together and we're gonna do a Momentum Cider theme song.
I love
it. That's coming.
All right. You can go on the you can go on
Hip
a
Hop
Momentum
Cider.
tour. You can go on a Momentum tour and you can have a cider and
yes.
Yep, for real.
Perform. The Momentum Tour Fest. That is
wow.
You're welcome.
Right that now. Momentum Tour Fest.
Rob. Yeah. We're pretty good at this.
Yes, Momentum Tour Fest. I love that.
Yeah, coming soon. I see it all across the all the country, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Just make sure one tour stop is in Delaware, like not Philly, not DC, but Delaware.
Delaware. Okay. Gotta do Delaware.
Yes. I don't know if we have any cideries, but still. We'll have one by then.
Any cideries in Delaware?
I don't know. I know we used to have a meadery, and is Liquid Alchemy considered? That's a meadery. That's a meadery. Right?
They do cider, but it is a meadery.
Yeah. So I think that's the closest thing that we would probably have to a cidery is them. Yeah, I can't think of no cideries around.
Huh.
Okay. Maybe we should check it out. I'm gonna find out. I'm see if that's accurate. But yeah, I think it is only.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wanted to Google it right now. Any cideries in Delaware?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a no too.
Cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for your support.
I can't say for sure, but that sounds right. I know they do mead. They do ciders, but I don't know unless they consider themselves a cidery too. A cidery and a meadery, maybe they do.
Yeah, I mean, usually if you do mead, then you do a cider. You know, I think I made one mead before, but I have a friend who is she wants to do a meadery, and she's out in Florida. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go real quick. Old Stone Cider is in Pennsylvania. That was the first choice. That was the first choice that came up. Then Liquid Alchemy Beverages, and then Cider Mill. You ever heard of Cider Mill, Rob?
No.
They're the two that's in Delaware.
And Momentum Brew Works technically has a cider program.
They're
a brewery, but they have a cider program. So
Cider Mill, is that the one that's the Black owned one?
I'm not sure. It doesn't. Let me see. No. This looks like when I hit the link, it's like an advertisement for a home.
Oh, so that might not be in
y'all can't. Yeah, that's a house. That's not a cidery.
Yeah, no, there's
has a large kitchen with living room and dining room, large bay windows.
Okay.
I think that's the name of the development. Cider Mill.
Yes, that could be. That could be. So it's only one, and they make mead mostly. So Liquid Alchemy is it.
Okay. That's cool.
Cider Mill. That's funny.
So where is near you guys? Is it like
Philadelphia? We're like 35 minutes from Philadelphia. Okay. We're an hour from Baltimore, an hour and a half from DC. So
and 2 hours from New York.
And,
okay.
And 5 seconds from Jersey.
Yeah, I was about to say Jersey. You're 5 seconds from Jersey. Yoda's 5 seconds from Jersey. Yoda lives in Jersey.
He's stupid.
I'm sure they cut Delaware off.
Black-owned cidery. I think this is the third one we was talking about. I mean, the first one, and the third is called Detroit Farm and Cider.
Detroit farm. Oh, I got it. So they got a
Yeah,
farm
they're
too.
black owned.
Nice.
They're in Michigan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you would think we have a cidery because we do have a lot of farmland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
we do.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think we do have cideries, but I don't think any black owned.
No,
Right.
I just
Like,
was looking up while you were.
he just
while you were
looked up
going.
the. He just looked up the just cideries. Period.
Yeah,
That's weird.
cideries in Delaware. Cideries
Yeah,
near me.
that's
and
weird.
most of them came up with Pennsylvania.
Because we got an apple orchard, so maybe they just need to.
Yeah, we
well,
used to be the
have
peach.
apple
We used to be the peach capital of the world.
Oh, really?
Not that means anything for.
But it's
for
still
cider,
a lot of like.
but, yeah.
I don't know. That's weird, actually.
Yeah, like Delaware's not big, but the southern part of the state is like so much farmland. It's so much farmland that they used to produce a lot of orchards and different fruits and shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I don't know why we wouldn't have a cidery. Maybe it's coming.
Maybe I'll have to come out there and
there you go.
Put your stamp down.
my location.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. It's space out here for you. It's plenty of orchard for you.
No, momentum.
and stages. We got plenty of
Yes,
stages. Yeah, we got plenty of stages for you.
The momentum
That is true.
fest.
Yes.
There you go. See, you got
Yes,
it.
Rob.
It's yours. It's yours.
No problem. No problem.
Write that down. Momentum Tour Fest.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
We're always here to help where we
Yes.
can.
She knows the percentages. We let her know. We'll tell her more offline what she'll owe us on the back end. We don't take no money up front. All our stuff is on the back end. After the production happens and after you're successful, we come a call.
Okay. I got you. Right.
We come a call.
Hey, remember that episode 219?
Right.
Episode 219.
Minute 38.
Yep.
Minute 38.
It's recorded.
Oh God. Allegedly evidence to.
Yep.
I would like to submit exhibit 36D, please.
Yep.
This is what she said. Rob, Lou, good idea. And it was
Right,
our
right.
idea. Yes.
All right. Do you have anyone have any more questions for Monique?
No, Monique's pretty dope.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
You guys.
Thanks a lot.
Well, we want to thank Monique Gray for coming on the podcast from Momentum Cider.
Yes.
AKA Mora Q.
Yes, sir.
Before she go, we want to go out with a 16, a hot 16. I'm just joking.
That second verse from Momentum, the Momentum Cider, the Momentum Cider thing. Can we get the second verse?
Hot 16.
Yeah, we need that.
Buy my album. Look, buy my album.
Look, when your Unity in the Community Cider song comes out, just mention Brews and Banter one time.
You know what? I will.
I feel like we should go
I
out.
will. No, we need to stick together. No, for real. I love this. You guys are super cool. I'm so thankful for grateful for letting y'all have me on here.
Yeah, appreciate
it. For letting us have you.
Yeah. Well, we thank you for letting us contact you so you could come on our show. Thank you. Thank you.
Before we go, we always like to know how people can find you on these worldwide webs, how they can find more about Momentum Cider. So how can they find you out here in these social medias, these worldwide webs, even in your local, people are in the Long Beach area? Are you pouring somewhere at an event or anywhere?
So right now, you can find me momentumciders.com. And my Instagram page, Momentum Cider, at Momentum Cider. And I will be pouring in about 3 weeks. I'm just waiting on approval in Anaheim. There's a brewery there, so I might be sitting up pouring there. So I'm just waiting on okay from that. But right now, I'm just getting ready to fly out to Chicago over next month to get started on brewing for my commercial production. And that's about it. So
I do have one more question. What commercial production? What does that entail? Like, how many more bottles or kegs or however you bottle your cider? How much more are you brewing on a commercial stage as compared to what you're doing in your kitchen?
Okay, so in my kitchen, I'm only doing like 5-6 gallons, as to where obviously commercial production would be, kegs.
Mhm.
They're going to be pouring from tap room. So what I was told was that we're going to produce it and keg it, and then they're going to make a certain amount of cans and distribute it through the local stores out in Chicago.
So it's going to be specifically into Chicago. Won't be any in Long Beach area.
In the Chicago area, what I'm going to do is once that gets done, I have a collaboration with Highland Park Brewery, which is in California. We're going to pick that up, and then we're going to get the same recipe and bring it out here. So everything's moving. Yeah, everything's moving. Right now, we're going to start local production in Chicago, and then by the end of the year, we'll have some stuff. Actually, beginning of January 2024.
So the first California Black woman cidery is going to be distributed in California in Chicago first.
In Chicago first, yes, as a part of the grant, as a part of my grant.
Cool, that's awesome.
Chicago first, and then California.
Congratulations!
Thank you
Congratulations!
So much. Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, yo, we're gonna find you. Oh, welcome
back, welcome back, baby. It's good to see you, man.
Yo, man.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You definitely was not.
Nah, not in the streets, but I'm around.
Bed sheets. Sheets.
Y'all niggas, I swear for goodness.
Yo, I didn't say anything.
Look, and we just excited to see you around, man. That's all.
I'm here. I'm back. Man. I'm telling you. Where can you find me at?
It's been so long. It's so long. I don't even know.
Yeah, I'll be nowhere now. You can find me on IG at IM302YOD.
All right,
man. My name is Lou Belgium, everybody. Hello. I'm on them Instagrams.
And you can find Bruising Banter Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Bruising Banter Podcast. Well, X. I keep on forgetting this. It's called X now. Formerly known as Twitter. You can listen to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can say, Alexa, play Bruising Banter Podcast because we are on Amazon Music. If you want to check me, follow me, Rob Stay Bruising. There it is. Bing, bing, bing. Rob Stay Bruising.
Remember last week I had to do it for you.
Once again, we want to thank
couldn't get it out.
We want to thank Monique from Momentum Cider for coming through.
Woo!
Yes, thank you for teaching us about jerkum and pomoma.
Yes, Pomo.
Yep.
Pomo.
Got it.
Lou's never gonna get it right. So
I'm never gonna forget jerkum though. I know that.
Yeah, but how you gonna ask for? Can you go ask for that? Yo,
like, can I get some plum cider? You gotta ask for plum cider. That's what they say. And then they be like, "Oh, you want the jerkum?" Like,
right?
Yeah.
Don't let that become like your regular thing. You take your boys and you sit at the bar. They're like, "Yo, Lou, you want your jerkum?
Want your regular?"
Guys.
Oh man, it's plum cider. I want some plum cider, please.
This has been episode 209 of Bruising Banter.
Nope,
Podcast.
it has not. It's definitely not.
219.
Yes.
219.
Yes.
219.
Shout out to Funky Town. Shout out to Pilot. Shout out to the guy who draws the designs, and shout out to Pilot. I said that already. Shout out to Chicago.
Yeah, and shout out to Dope, and all cider, all the ciders out here.
Yeah,
Cider Jones,
for sure.
Shout out to
Cider Jones,
the Detroit Farm and Cider. See y'all later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, until next time,
have a good week, everyone.
All right.
Good week, everyone. Bye.
Right.
Oh, we're supposed to do music. Oh.